On July 27, 2022, in Washington, D.C., the Korean War Veterans Memorial Wall of Remembrance was dedicated as a tribute to the victims of the Korean War. This date marks 69 years since the armistice was signed in 1953, yet the war that never officially ended continues to this day. I was born in January 1959, 5 years and 5 months after the armistice was signed. My father served as an Air Force officer, while my mother evacuated to the South. Had either of them been killed during the Korean War, my family and I would not be here today. I'm deeply grateful to the soldiers of the Republic of Korea and the United Nations, especially the United States, which contributed the largest number of troops for their bravery in defending the country against communist invasion. Since the ceasefire, countless families have endured unspeakable grief. No words of comfort can ever suffice for those who sent their beloved sons, husbands, and fathers to war, never to see them again. Since 2013, I have often wondered, were there any alumni who fought in the Korean War while attending or after graduating from MSU? Were any of them killed or reported missing in action? And what was life like for their families? In May 2017, during a 2-week visit to Michigan, I visited the MSU archives in Conrad Hall. There, I began to uncover the first chapter of this poignant history. When I requested to review the records, a staff member presented me with a thick stack of folders labeled Korean War. Inside were newspaper clippings, school registers, articles from the Record magazine, letters from family members, and other invaluable archival materials. In the years following my return, I took the time to review and verify the material I had gathered from the archives. While many alumni served in the Korean War, I initially focused on identifying those who were killed in action or missing in action. Ultimately, I was able to confirm that 16 alumni were either killed or missing during the Korean War. Today, they are buried in their home state of Michigan and across the United States, including Arlington National Cemetery. Those whose remains have not been recovered are commemorated by a monument in Hawaii. I found messages left by surviving family members on a site called the Korean War Project. While most of these messages were over a decade old, to my surprise, 2 individuals responded to my request for information about their deceased loved ones. Through subsequent email exchanges, I was able to learn more about them and their surviving family members. Here are their stories. Private First Class Bruce Warner was a member of the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division of the U.S. Marine Corps. He enlisted while attending Michigan State College and fought in the Korean War. He displayed remarkable bravery during the Battle of Dan's Ridge, but was tragically killed in the Battle of Punchbowl in Yangwoo just days before Christmas. I feel a profound sadness and gratitude for his sacrifice as he fought in this war and died at the young age of 22. Many foreign Korean War veterans have shared that they entered the war without even knowing where Korea was located. I wonder if Warner was among those who were unfamiliar with the country he was fighting to defend. I believe he knew and loved Korea, as his maternal grandfather, Dr. Robert Hardy, was a renowned early missionary who played a significant role in the Christian repentance movement that led to the 1903 Wonsan and 1907 Pyongyang revivals. Warner was killed in action on December 20, 1951, just one day after the photo above was taken. He is now buried at Deepdale Memorial Gardens in Lansing alongside his family, including Dr. Hardy. Harold Kutila and his wife Avis met at Michigan State College in 1948 and married in 1949. He graduated from MSc with a degree in business administration and enlisted with the ROTC Commission shortly after his graduation on June 4, 1950, just 3 weeks before the start of the Korean War. After training as a tank commander at Fort Knox, Kentucky, he was deployed to Korea in October 1950. Shortly after his arrival, he was wounded in action and flown to Japan, where he spent 6 months recovering. He returned to the battlefield in May 1951, where he was tragically killed by enemy machine gun fire on May 26, 1951, while evacuating a burning tank under fire. His wife, Avis Kutila, who lives in an assisted living facility in Dayton, Ohio, shared the following in her email. I was a young widow, so much in love and newly married, when at 20 years of age, his death colored and altered my view of the world and life. I became a student pilot in a futile effort to face danger as nearly as I could experience to try to deal with the threat of possible death within. The will to survive pulled me out of spins during my pilot maneuvering test. I believe Harold had the same will to survive in vain. After a brief marriage, Avis expressed that she never found peace of mind regarding the war. First Lieutenant Harold Kutila is buried in Maple Grove Cemetery in Caleva, Michigan. During the Korean War, the United States deployed 1,789,000 troops to Korea. Of those, 36,574 were killed and 103,284 were wounded. At the Korean War Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., the words, "Freedom is not free," are inscribed on the wall. The prosperity and the stability of our country today are made possible by the sacrifices and the dedication of countless young lives who participated in the struggle for freedom. This is why we must remember them, even though they fought in a forgotten war. I will now call out the names of the following 16 MSU alumni one by one, believing that they should be remembered as proud Spartan veterans who sacrificed for the freedom of Korea. Lieutenant Douglas Bland, Lieutenant Austin Bremen, First Lieutenant Baldwin Carr, Captain Ernest Fibercon, Captain Robert Gibb, Lieutenant David Green, Captain Rex Gunnell, Lieutenant Harold Kutila, Captain Charles May, Lieutenant Melvin Monty, Major Harry Pearson, Captain Charles Pratt, Lieutenant Richard Rusk, Corporal George Sawyer, First Lieutenant Richard Sheridan, Private First Class Bruce Warner. On Veterans Day in November 2022, MSU dedicated the renovated Demonstration Hall Plaza, which has been home to the MSU Army ROTC for nearly a century. Supporters honored their loved ones with small blocks, and Korean War veterans were also commemorated. I visited the cemeteries of 5 alumni scattered throughout Michigan to pay my respects. Since the 1950s, thousands of international students from Korea have studied at Michigan State University, many of whom have gone on to assume leadership roles in their fields. Alumni who returned to Korea after their studies have made significant contributions to academia and industry, tirelessly working for the country's development. This success is a testament to the sacrifices and the dedication of countless individuals who have defended Korea. I hope that the names of the alumni who were killed in action but remain unidentified will eventually be recognized. I would like to see a plaque or tablet installed on MSU's campus to honor them alongside the 16 heroes we commemorated today, ensuring their memory endures for years to come. Thank you.